I'm very excited. He'll be one of the best basketballers we've ever had on the show. I believe we'll be seeing him in the green and gold heading over to Paris in a couple of months' time. Duop Reath joins us now. Friend of mine, a friend of anyone who loves basketball because he is an absolute legend. Gives his time to anyone that stops and says g'day, and including people who try to steal his breakfast, hypothetically say this morning. Duop, how are you, mate?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Did I surprise you today when I reached over out of nowhere and tried to grab your eggs on toast?
Yeah, you got quick hands though, but I had to have some fast reflexes to stop it.
Mate, Duop tried calling foul. Couldn't believe it. Just like when he played in the NBL, it was a clean steal, but that's a story for another day. But, mate, take us through. We want to learn more about you. And I watched the video that you did. I believe Matisse Thybulle, your teammate with the Boomers, he put it together. An incredible story that you shared with everyone down the lens of a camera. Do you mind telling us a little bit about your upbringing, especially from ages 0 through to about 11?
Yeah, man. So just shout out to Matisse for just sharing that story. I feel like he got a different side of me that probably not a lot of people really know. So it was really his idea. He was the one behind, the video, and he just did a really good job. So that's something that he's really getting into nowadays. And I think that he's very talented at it, just being able to make people comfortable and just let them share their story. So I was happy to be one of the first ones to be able to do that with him. But yeah, so my story started off back in South Sudan. That's where I was born. And then when I was about, I would say in 2002-ish, that's when 2003, 2002 is when we moved to a refugee camp in Kenya. And then we spent a year and a bit there. And then about 2 years there, then we moved to Australia. So yeah, so just growing up, I was young, so I don't really remember too much. I was just playing with friends and just goofing around really. But life felt pretty simple and good. So probably my parents that was probably going through the challenges and adversity of life then. But like for me personally, at that age, I don't really remember too much besides playing a lot of soccer, and just being around a lot of friends and just laughing and just doing kid stuff.
You mentioned playing a lot of soccer, but can you explain what you used for a soccer ball?
Oh yeah, so we had so to make a soccer ball there, we just use the balloon and we just wrap it up with clothes, anything we just get our hands to, and just to create a soccer ball because like where we were growing up, it was impossible to even find or get a soccer ball. So so that was just a way to improvise and just make it happen. And then if it pops, just get another balloon and just wrap it up again. So that was probably one of the funnest, probably the best thing you look forward to in the day, to be able to get on the soccer field and play.
Were you always tall, or was there a point in your formative years that you just took off and had a growth spurt?
No, I was never always tall. I think like when I was in high school, that's when I started like just blowing up and started getting taller than everybody else. Because when I look at my year 5, year 6, year 7, like primary school pictures, I was never standing in the back. So like when you stand in the back, you're the tall kid, I was usually in the middle, around there, But then once I got to high school, they put me in the back.
Okay, so we've gone from playing soccer now at about age 7 or 8. You move to Australia. And can you explain to everybody what it was like seeing a toilet for the first time and a white person for the first time?
Yeah, man. It was different because, growing up, you just, especially seeing like a white person, it's the first time you ever seen them. And then, so you kind of get scared as a kid and you just, it's foreign to you and it's different. But, once you get here and you understand, okay, there's different, life is different there and here, like it's two different things. And it's just, once you understand that, then now you have a better understanding. But I feel like at that age, it's not that much you don't really know too much because, you're not educated and you don't really know the outside world like that. So, and nobody's really telling you about the outside world. Nobody's really coming back and telling us this is out there. So you didn't know anything. So you obviously as a kid, you probably be scared or like in shock. And then I'm in the toilet. Yeah, that's, growing up in the refugee camp, especially because I remember the refugee camp very vividly, like some of the stuff there. And then the toilet there compared to a normal toilet seat, they're two different things. And yeah. It can be a little scary sometimes, seeing the flash and the water coming out and all that.
I won't ask for too many details. We'll leave it there with
Yeah.
the toilet talk. But a good friend of both of ours, Solomon Detch, he wanted me to ask you this question. He wanted me to ask you about the South Sudanese basketball tournament, where apparently discovered, but more importantly, in particular for Solomon, he wants you to give credit to a certain point guard that was out there apparently throwing you alley-oops.
I don't know who that point guy was. But yeah, man, just talking about the South Sudanese tournament, that's really what really opened a lot of doors for me. That was like, especially coming up in that South Sudanese community here in Perth, playing for a team called Perth Rhinos, which is still on today, and Solomon runs that team now. So shout out to Solo for just being able to commit and manage and run that, because it's a lot of work. Because kids are, most of these like minority kids that play in there, they come from families that are challenged, and trying to find ways to get into practice is probably one of the biggest challenges. And so Solo got to work twice as hard to make sure that kids get there safe. You got to stay back to make sure everybody got home safely, take kids, drop them off. So shout out to Solo for doing that. So that's why I grew up playing for the Rhinos, and twice a year we'll go to the eastern states and play other teams, other South Sudanese players. They got their own teams from each state, so we'll meet in one place and play there twice a year. And so that was kind of like our nationals, and everybody looked forward to that. And that was something that really played a big impact in my career as well, because that's where I also got recruited for my junior college, Lee College, which I went to for 2 years before going to LSU. So so that played.
Before we get to the questions about where the basketball has taken you abroad, and we're going to talk about your time at LSU in particular, what about the South Sudanese community with basketball? Because I can't imagine, I want to hear your thoughts on it, when you decided to pursue the green and gold and represent Australia, which you've done an incredible job at, versus potentially go and represent South Sudan, who only just qualified for the first ever major tournament 12 months ago. Was it a tough decision? How connected to that South Sudanese basketball community do you remain?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely connected to them, because obviously I'm South Sudanese as well. So I support those guys. I want the team to do well. But like coming up, there was no South Sudanese team. It was only the Australian team, the national team. And just being able to be, most of us are South Sudanese Australians, so we grew up here, and being able to get recognized at that level, and it's a privilege to even represent like the country that gave most of us opportunity. And it took us in to our families, because without us being here right now in Australia, and Australia giving us a chance, it'll be a whole different story for a lot of us. So to be able to represent the country that gave me and my family an opportunity, and all the South Sudanese kids that are living here an opportunity, was definitely a privilege. So it wasn't really a hard decision to make.
How proud are you that I think about 7 years ago there were 5 South Sudanese players in the NBL. Now there's well over 20. It's about 25 to 30. But the improvement in the game, the amount of players getting recognised, when you yourself, I don't think you've represented even WA until maybe top age under 18s. But does it make you proud? You played in the NBL, now you're playing in the NBA, but I dare say you still keep track of how things are going.
Oh yeah, no, I love to watch the NBL. It's definitely. I'm keeping up with every single team, and to see all these South Sudanese boys now in the league, it just goes to represent how talented they are as well, and to be able to give this kind of recognition like nationally now, it's just great. Hopefully we'll see more in the league, and because I know there's a lot of kids that are just talented, and they work hard and they deserve to get a fair chance as well, but yeah, just really proud of them. I just hope that everybody keep leading to the right way and keep opening doors for the other South Sudanese kids, because you want to set a good example. So that's the biggest thing that I'm proud of as well, because the guys that are in it right now are setting great examples.
Mate, you're certainly doing that. I've never heard anyone speak a poor word about you, mate, and I truly mean that. Everybody's drawn to you who's lucky enough to spend some time with you. And now there is a South Sudanese player who I think could go and be one of the best players in the NBA. Kaman Malawach. Mm-hmm. Now, I know you know who he is, and keep an ear out for that player, everybody listening, because he's going to be a superstar. But how do you believe he could be? Because I know that he does look up to you.
Yeah, oh, man, that kid, that's a real deal. I definitely think that he could be the number one pick. Especially he just got the pure raw talent, which you can't train and get that. So that's something that's a God-given gift. Yeah. So yeah, definitely his game translates to the NBA. His body translates to the NBA, and his personality too. He's a great kid that wants to learn. Cause I've been around him a little bit, and yeah, he's definitely somebody that everybody got to keep an eye on, because that will be potentially the number one pick one day. And yeah, so yeah, keep an eye out for him.
We're talking to basketball star Duop Reath. Now, we've spoken about you as a junior. Now I want to talk about your time in America. The first time you got a taste of American basketball through the collegiate system, LSU. It is a big-time program. What are your memories of your time spent there?
LSU was a challenge, because just playing at that high level and adapting. I had to gain a lot of weight. I had to get stronger. I had to get faster. The game was a whole nother level compared to JUCO. So it took a little bit of adjusting. Like the summers were a grind, man. That's all I really remember the most. Those summers, they used to put us through a lot of, I wouldn't say torture, but it's not far off that, you know? So yeah, it was definitely a grind. But I'll just say the summers is probably the biggest thing I remember. But like the lifestyle, the college lifestyle, it was fun. It was a great experience. That's something that you don't ever get if you don't really experience it. You know, just being around different kind of personalities, being around different kind of people from different backgrounds, and just mingling with everybody. I feel like it really gets you ready for life.
Mate, you look at your career. You did not debut in the NBA until you're 27. And to be honest, a lot of clubs don't look at bringing in players beyond the age of, say, 22,
Right.
23. How hard was it for you to stay mentally tough and ready to go if and when your name got called upon? Because Serbia, China, Lebanon, here in the NBL, like, did you almost ever give up on that NBA dream, or did you just stick to your guns and say, no, I'm going to get there at some stage?
Yeah, that was my mentality most of the time. Just keep trying. You never know what could happen. I always just had put my faith in God and just keep working hard, you know. I felt like if I just did that, I could live with myself knowing that I gave it my best. But to be in the league at 27 right now is definitely just I got to give testimony to God, you know, just because it's something that you don't really plan. Nobody plans, okay, when I'm 27 years old, I want to be in the NBA. Everybody plans, when I finish college, if I have to go to overseas or go play somewhere else for a year, then try to get NBA again. But yeah, so I definitely just felt like it was meant to be, it's going to be. So all I had to do was just control what I could control, man. Which just kept working hard and just keep having faith and see how things turn out.
How hard is it to adjust the number of games played when you're over there in the NBA compared to what we see here in Australia?
It's hard. It takes. So once you get in the middle of the season, that's when you really feel it. It takes a lot of mental focus and just a mental strength, I think, because physically you can do it, but it's usually your mind that try to give up first and saying that it's too many. Just try to cruise through some games, try to save yourself for the next game or whatever. But you got to realize, I felt like for me, what made it a little bit easier was just me realizing every day that I'm in the NBA. This is my dream. This is what I've always wanted to play, and this is you playing against the best players every night. So that got me out of my bed, really excited to go. So that kind of just gave me a drive. And, yeah, so me personally, it wasn't too hard. I was able to just find ways to just stay motivated, which really helped me.
What about the travel and the jets that you travel around in? Do you pitch yourself when you're just rolling in and out of some of those jets? And how big are they in terms of, facilitating all the players and the luxuries that come with some of those private jets?
Oh, yeah. Travel is probably one of the best. You get on the bus, you get on the plane, you get off the plane, you get on the bus straight to the hotel. So there's no security check, anything like that. So that's probably the best part, which you need, though, because the turnaround for games is so quick, and you need as much rest as you can get. And but yeah, I definitely do just pinch myself just being. You get treated over there. They really take care of you, and they really want to see you perform to the best of your ability. So they try to do their best to make sure that everything that you need is there for you.
What about that moment you got told you're no longer on a two-way contract with the Portland Trail Blazers? We're going to give you a full-fledged contract. Can you talk to us about how special that was?
Yeah, that was probably one of the most amazing days, ever. Because just to know how hard you work and to be able to get rewarded for just the work that you put in throughout. I don't know. Ever since I started really playing basketball, just a testimony to just keep working hard. Keep doing the right thing because you do get rewarded if you just keep working out, keep doing the right thing. At the end of the day, like it do pay off. So that was just a big, just a big happy day for me that day.
What about the stardom? Because if I walk downtown with Paul Hazel, people will stop him and say, hey, can you introduce us to Nat Five? and things like that. But in the NBA, it is a beast over there. Have you got used to it? Do you have any funny stories, or is it just part and parcel of being an NBA player these days?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe those are like the bigger players, the max players. Maybe they get more of the style treatment. Like guys like me, we can walk down the street with no problem, man. We just out the way, so we're not that important. Maybe if I'm walking with you, they'll probably, they'll probably want to take a picture.
Which team wins it from here in the NBA?
Ooh, probably Boston. I think Boston's looking pretty sharp. Boston I still think Minnesota. I think Boston or Minnesota should be one of them.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible series, whoever does go on to make it. I want to talk about Paris because I've said this a number of times on air. I think that this is going to be the best team. Now, obviously, we've still got a selection camp. It's a no-brainer, in my opinion. You're going to be part of that 12 that heads over there. You'll be our starting big man. But not only is Australia going to put together the best team we've ever had, but so are, Canada, Serbia. There's going to be a number of countries who would genuinely believe they're a medal contender. And off the back of winning a bronze medal, do you think that Australia is going to start feeling the pressure of performing, whereas in Olympics gone by, we were the underdogs? That's no longer the case.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't say pressure. I'll feel like we just going into this one is more like, we got something to prove. Like we just want to get back on that stage again and podium, because we feel like we got the talent and we can compete with these guys. And we play our brand of basketball. I think that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's on the court playing against us. I think that we're going to always come up on top, and nobody can really go against us when it's our type of basketball, our brand of basketball. So we just want to get back to because obviously the World Cup ain't go as planned. We were really disappointed with the results, but I think that that's going to help us as well. That experience of knowing it's time to get back to our brand of basketball and play how we're supposed to play. And you still play boomer basketball over there.
Mate, I want you to close your eyes and picture this moment. Gold medal on the line, 5 seconds to go. Josh Giddey's got the ball in his hand. He's got Paddy Mills to his right. We need a 3 to win it. Duop Reath to his left. We need a 3 to win it. You're both outside the 3-point line. Who should he pass it to?
Hey, if Josh is feeling good, shoot it himself, but but man, whoever is open.
No, well played.
Whoever is open.
Well played. Okay, I'll let you sit on the fence for that question, but you've got to give me an answer for tonight because I believe you're going to head along to the Dockers Collingwood Magpies game. Who gets it done at the AFL?
Trio.
That was quick. Yeah, mate, yeah. We've absolutely loved having you on because we know you're a busy man. You're an absolute superstar, and thank you for sharing your story.
Now, thank you for having me.